Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about the confirmation from the Walking Dead Season 4 trailer that indeed the group will be leaving the prison in Season 4. So I think this is a good topic for a video discussing the concept of the group leaving in Season 4. I did do a video a little while ago, I think it was about a month or two ago, talking about the concept of whether or not the group would leave the prison in Season 4. A lot of us, I think, thought they might have already left at the end of Season 3. Like, Season 3 they would be at the prison, but it'd be a lot like Season 2 where they're at the farm, and then the following season they would no longer be there. The fact that we have seen from the trailer that the group is going to be in fact leaving the prison means that they can't be there for probably more than about halfway through the season. That would mean that because at this point they're not done filming Season 4 yet. They're still working on it, there's production, all that kind of stuff. And they're going to shoot for a while still because 16 episodes is a lot of content, you know, each one being 40 minutes or 42 minutes with commercials. You have a lot of stuff to do. So the content that we've seen from the trailer is probably from about the first half, if even that. It might only be from the first, 3, 4 episodes, that type of thing, maybe 5 episodes, depending. So we know pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be leaving the prison by at least halfway through, and the rest of the season they're going to be somewhere else, maybe on the road, in different locations, different spots. Just we're going to be seeing what happens. So that'll be really exciting. Okay, so here's the main thing is that of course they decide they have to leave the prison because of a couple things. It seems like from the trailer, number one is they never anticipated or expected to have this amount of walkers attacking the prison to the point where the gates, the fences would start to actually sway and there'd be so many walkers pushing constantly against them back to back that the weight of them and the force would actually bend the fences. It's pretty amazing, but when you think about it, you see that many, it starts to make sense that yeah, actually, because walkers are so dumb, they're not going to stop. They're just going to keep going back to back and just press right against a fence. And fences are great, especially prison fences, nice and big and stuff like that. But if you had like 30 walkers just constantly pushing against it without being cleared out all the time, you would start to see that fence come down, man, pretty quickly. So I don't think it's far-fetched or anything like that. I do like the fact that they have the booby traps that they kind of learned from Morgan and his style, which is to create those wooden traps for the walkers to walk into and get skewered by, which is kind of cool to see in the trailer near the gates there when they open it for Michonne, when Rick is pulling to open the gates up for Michonne. It's pretty good stuff. I enjoy that. But, with all those defenses and all those things still, if you have that many walkers coming at you all the time, like you can see in the trailer, there's probably somewhere around 50 at a time, at that one time. We see the scene with Michonne coming in and around the prison. That's going to be really hard to deal with, to keep that clean. And then after we see a deer and some other things that animals and rats and things like that may have been used to lure walkers there to get them away from there, or to get them funneling towards there, which tends to kind of make you think that someone's messing with them. Now, another topic which we were talking about a little while ago in another video is, are we going to see the Hunters from the comic book series in Season 4? A group of basically cannibals that have decided in the zombie apocalypse, due to the lack of food and resources running out over time, they actually turn and start hunting people because they're no good at hunting animals. So they decide that people are easier prey, plus they can take all their supplies, stuff, ammunition, weapons, territory, things of that nature. So there could be a potential that maybe they're messing with the group at the prison, maybe a potential that the governor has joined up with them, something of the sort, something along these lines. Or maybe the governor has become them, or this type of thing, introducing that concept of cannibals in the show definitely would be interesting to see for sure. Plus, their tactics and the tactics that we see in the trailer do seem like the Hunters, where they will come in and they will grab a person or two people and they will take half of them or something, and these types of things. Like maybe that's what Tyrese saw. Maybe he saw Sasha and she was missing certain sections or something. Oh, this got dark really fast. Something of the sort. Or could be just the governor messing with them. But I think it's an interesting concept that even though the governor or the hunters would not be able to defeat Rick's group, the survivors, in an all-out battle to the death, right? If they resort to different tactics, which they use, for example, the walkers as a weapon, which the governor has been known to do in the past, right? Lure them in. Merle also been part of his group and did the same thing against him. Luke came with an army of walkers to distract them while he was picking guys off and almost got him. Unfortunately for Ben, but almost got the governor in his crosshairs. And so he used that tactic too, so I could definitely see the governor being the one to be messing with them for sure. Plus the fact that we don't see him in the trailer, and David Morrissey's there. He's their season regular, so it's got to be him messing with them to a degree. Maybe somebody else too, like the hunters too. But basically, the concept of them or the governor's group or the hunters or any groups like this, humans like this, in survivors in a zombie apocalypse, that instead of fighting outright Rick's group, the survivors, to instead use other tactics against them, luring walkers towards them to mess with them. Breaking in all of a sudden, well, there's all these walkers out front coming in the back door or something with an army, with a good amount of walkers with them as well, attacking them and then running away. Tyrese talking, we got to find the people that did this. It's an interesting concept, and you got to think too. They know where you are. They know where you're staying, where your group is, but you don't know where they are. That is a huge advantage. For example, the governor knows that Rick's group is there at the prison, but we have no idea where the governor is. So instead, he could resort to hit and run tactics because he's got less amount of manpower. He could do these things, lure the walkers in, come in real quick, do a sting attack, unleash some walkers on some people, or just mess up their defenses so the walkers can get in against people, kill a few people in the mix, things like this. Maybe use some gasoline, light fire to the prison or something of the sort. He could really mess with them and then just run away each time, resort to those types of tactics, hit and run tactics. And I mean, how effective would that be? Because he's a sick bastard, so he could do these things, and what's Rick's group really going to do? They don't know where he is. If they try to track him down, it's going to be really dangerous because their people won't really know where they're going. They'll be kind of wandering around, like you see Daryl there with Bob Stuckey, and I forget who else was with them, maybe Michonne, and they're going through the woods there, and Rick's talking about people are the best defense against walkers or people. When you go and try to chase after them or find them, there's a good chance that they could be lying in wait, or they could kind of have some idea that you're around and take you out when you're on your way to find out where they are. We've seen the governor before with Axel, for example, from long distance, shoot him down without us even knowing that he was there. So things like that could really mess with them. They wouldn't feel safe when that's happening. They'd be losing, like they said, lost 12 people, 2 murdered in cold blood. Could be from the governor or whoever. And, the fact that the governor knows that they're there and they don't know where the governor is, and he still wants to fight, he still wants to go, but he's using those tactics. They don't really have much of a choice but to leave, because he could just come in, shoot one of them, and run away. Come into the fence, snipe one of them down, and then head out again, and just do that constantly. Aside from finding his own food and supplies, just stalk them and mess with them. Wow. Could be. So, that's an interesting storyline, I think, for season 4. I think that's where they're going. It sure seems like it from the trailer. And you got to say, too, that's effective, because you wouldn't really have much of a choice. You kind of would have to leave if the dude was doing that, lighting fire to the place where you're sleeping, or, even just, if he just came in with some big snips or something at night and came up to your gate or whatever, or your fence, and just cut the thing open. The next morning you wake up and there's 30 or 40 walkers in the courtyard, and then the fact that he knows their location is just it's such an advantage for him to mess with them and do these things and slowly take them down one at a time. You know, to the point where they wouldn't really have much of a choice. They would have to leave. Now, where they're going to go, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see. I think they'll just kind of hit the road and see where it takes them. Maybe the group will split up. That'd be interesting too. Have one part of the group, Herschel say, forget it, I've had enough of it. I'm going back to my farm. I'll figure it out. You know, have Maggie and Glenn, maybe a couple others go with him back to his farm. Have Rick's group, the rest of Rick's group with Daryl go somewhere else. And maybe Tyrese head out on his own or something with Sasha or whoever, if she's still alive, on his own too. That'd be cool to split them up and have different groups and different storylines happening simultaneously. I would really enjoy that too as well. So lots of possibilities, and you know, the positive side of it is that the fact that they're leaving the prison is good for us as viewers, because you wouldn't want it to get stale. You know, they've been there for 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 episodes. Who knows by the time they actually leave. 20 episodes at 40 minutes each of them, pretty much. You know, environments are going to get old pretty fast. And, you know, just sitting there in the prison all the time like that, hunkered down, it doesn't make the show that exciting. And people are going to start getting tired of it. I remember people talking about getting tired of the prison at the end of Season 3. So now we're going into Season 4 and they're still there. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. Let's get them out of there, make the show interesting again. Maybe have them go to Alexandria. Maybe this sanctuary they hear about is Alexandria. Maybe it's, I don't know, leading into Negan or with the Saviors or another group or something like that. Maybe it's the Hunters trying to lure people in to kill them and eat them. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities, man. A lot of possibilities. So I'm very excited. Of course, you guys know I am. I've said it 100 times by now in every video I do for Season 4. But I'm very excited to see them leave the prison, see what happens, see where they're going to go. And, man, it's got to be the governor who's messing with them. Oh, man. That's got to be rough to deal with for them. And I can see why they would leave, definitely, because nasty tactics, you know, nasty. But Merle did the same thing, same tactics, you know. Use the walkers as a force of nature against your enemy. Brutal, man, brutal. Okay, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.